All right, Shalom. First, let's start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders, the apostles, the root well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is just a document from Wikipedia titled Washington Race Riot of 1919. It's just history on what was happening in Judah during that time, which is happening to the Judites now. History repeats itself, man. The scriptures say what had been has what is now has already been, you know. Um, and I'm gonna grab that precept as a matter of fact, so I ain't gotta butcher it. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And the Most High requireth that which is past. Right, so all these little uproars of Jake or Judah against these Edomites had already happened throughout the period of us being in slavery all the way up until now, you know. And the Lord required which is past. So all that's saying is that Esau isn't going to get away what he's been doing to the blacks, not only to the blacks but the Latinos and the Native Americans. But the other tribes is a conversation for another level. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into this document. It says the Washington Race Riot of 1919 was civil unrest in Washington, D.C. from July 19th to July 19th, 1919 to July 24th, 1919. It says starting July 19th, white men, many in the United States Army, United States Navy, and United States Marine Corps responded to the rumored arrest of a black man for rape of a white woman with 4 days of mob violence against black individuals and businesses. They rioted randomly, beat black people on the street, and pulled others off streetcars for attacks. Right, and this Edomite, this devil, has always hated us, man. That was a part of let me grab the precept because I can say it better than what I can say it. Hold on, Salakia, give me 1 second. Yeah, the Lord has set it up like that since the beginning. This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Right, so they was already fighting in the womb. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Right, so 2 different nations. This is when Esau was born, man. That spirit got put into that body, stemming back from Cain and Abel. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other, right? Eventually the Israelites. It says, the one people shall be stronger than other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, which represents Esau, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, which all that symbolizes what we're doing today, pulling down Esau's foundation through his lies, through the scriptures. And his name was called Jacob, which is Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's name later was changed to Israel. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. Right, man. So, Jacob and Esau had already been fighting in the womb since the beginning. Keep one more. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. And that's what you see going on now today. And it says, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right, so that enmity is what you see, what was happening back then, and it's happening again now today, but these riots was an example of that. So it says, it says, many in the United States Army, United States Navy, and United States Marine Corps responded to the rumored arrest of the black man for rape of a white woman, with 4 days of mob violence against black individuals and businessmen. They rioted, randomly beat black people on the street, and pulled others off streetcars for attacks, right? Instead of letting the police and everything handle it, Esau took matters into his own hands. It said when police refused to intervene, the black population fought back. Right, and police be refusing to intervene in a lot of stuff that be going on now today. They don't put that out there in the news that much like that, but a lot of the hangings in the South, I guarantee you that's police refusing not to intervene or intervene, and or police even taking part in it, because Esau, they just went from being from wearing the white hoods to being on a police force, man, and being in political offices, and being president. Trump showing you that, It says the black population fought back, right, and eventually it is going to be, it ain't going to be no race riot per se. It's going to be everybody against everybody, but you're going to have your little fights with what's going to be black on whites, and, et cetera, et cetera. There's going to be all types of fighting coming to this place, man. And if you read up on your history, that's why Esau had it to where we didn't learn how to really read like how we were supposed to, without having to pay for it. And a lot of books we wouldn't even think about even reading, because we don't know how to search out knowledge, or would never get that information put in front of our face. The only reason why we understand now through the spirit and power is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. But that's part of us pulling down Esau's heels, because we're getting this information and bringing it out, and remembering, so we can protect ourselves from what's to come, and can see Esau's tricks and whatnot. Because if they was doing this in the past, and now it's saying if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and now they doing it now today. What they tell you need to learn up on your history so you can protect yourself, But you're only going to be protected through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. It says they rioted, randomly beat black people on the streets, and pulled others off streetcars for attacks. When police refused to intervene, the black population fought back. The city closed saloons and theaters to discourage assemblies, and they damn near not doing that today. Um, they closing down what gas stations and stuff like that. Yeah, they could damn near closing down the same things. Meanwhile, the four white-owned local papers, including the Washington Post, fanned the violence with incendiary headlines and calling in at least one instance for mobilization of a cleanup operation. It says after 4 days of police inaction, President Woodrow Wilson ordered 2,000 federal troops to regain control in the nation's capital, but a violent summer rainstorm had more of a dampening effect. It says when the violence ended, 15 people had died, at least 10 white people, including 2 police officers, and around 5 black people. 50 people were seriously wounded and another 100 less severely wounded. It was one of the few times in 20th century riots of whites against blacks that white fatalities outnumbered those of the black people. Those of black people. The arrest was also one of the Red Summer riots in America. And I'll be able to go into this. I'm going to go into it now. But all it is Red Summer is the period from late winter through early autumn of 1919, during which white supremacist terrorism and racial riots took place in more than 36 cities across the United States, as well as in one rural county in Arkansas. It said the term Red Summer was coined by civil rights activist and author James Weldon Johnson, who had been employed as a field secretary by the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which is the NAACP, since 1916. It says in 1919 he organized peaceful protests against the racial violence which had occurred that summer, right? And that's just to keep Jake asleep. That's why they got the NAACP, because they're supposed to speak out on the behalf of blacks and stuff of that nature. But all they doing is putting Jake to sleep, keeping the peace and everything, and getting paid. They getting paid by Esau to keep these blacks in line, regardless of what happens to them. And yeah, a lot of these riots probably was set up, because Esau knows how to. Esau controls the media, one, and the media had what do you call it? Incited this to happen the way it's happening. Let me see. It says Washington, D.C. had evolved as one of the places in the United States where a significant number of successful African Americans were living, with a particular concentration in the Lee Droit Park area near Howard University. The area had originally been segregated as a white-only zone, but students from Howard University had torn down the gates as part of the wider initiative to desegregate the suburb in 1880. And there ain't nothing wrong with segregation. Segregation, the Lord had segregation happen. The Lord only chose his people, which are the Israelites, man. In Deuteronomy chapter, what is it? I think 8:32, the Lord gave Israel his land and he separated the other nations and gave them their own lands and whatnot, man. And he only dealt with Israel. But Esau been hiding the truth, man. It says the city as a whole was 75% composed of white Americans. It says to this racial mix, newspaper publisher Ned McLean sought to undermine city authorities by publishing real or imagined crimes, and no crime was as salacious as a black attack on a white woman. The white population were outraged by reports of black crime, and during the summer of 1919, large mobs roamed streets attacking black residents. And it's the same thing they do in the news media now today to incite riots and everything. And let me see. It says the race riot started on Saturday, July 19th, following an incident involving two African American men and L.C. Stefnik, the white wife of an employee of the United States Naval Aviation Department. She was jostled near New York Avenue and 15th Street Northwest. One of the men was arrested and questioned concerning an alleged sexual assault, but subsequently released. The preceding weeks had seen a sensationalist newspaper campaign concerning the alleged sexual crimes of a Negro fiend, which contributed to the violence of the succeeding events. A mob of white Americans formed and started attacks on several African Americans and also an African American family home. It says, alarmed by the press calling for armed intervention to crush black population, the city's black community groups spent $14,000, 206,000 in 2020 on guns and ammunition in order to defend themselves, and that's what you see going on now. Jake and them buying up all as much as the weapons and ammunition as they can. Not just because of this COVID situation, but because they know that these devils and hearing Trump speak about them and and be extra racist towards the blacks and the Latinos. They know there's something coming, and a lot of these people be listening to our videos, which is why they preparing themselves also. It says many blacks gathered with guns they had purchased from pawn shops or military rifles black soldiers had brought home from World War I to make a stand at around 7th and U Streets, the black district in the capital's northwest. Their sharpshooters shot at targets while perched on the roof of the Howard Theater. Many black citizens took to their cars, cruising the streets and shooting up white targets. On one vehicle driven by Thomas Armstead and 5 other passengers cruised north along 7th Street, guns blazing. Near M Street, they shot a police horse, hit the hat off a cop's head before being stopped by a group of police. Armstead and another passenger, 18-year-old Jane Gore, were shot dead. Their companions escaped. Right now, you can read the rest of the article, but that's what's going on, man. That's what Esau want to provoke, but it's going to be everybody fighting because Esau trying to bring in a new world order. But this is the history of what happened to the Judites that they must know, because what happened in the past is repeating itself now today, and it's meant for them to get up out the way. And Esau it quickly put out lies because Esau was already portraying in movies and in the newspaper that Jake was sex fiends and stuff of that nature. And even if the dude, and it didn't even say the dude was convicted, but even if he was convicted, then the police got him. And that's supposed to be left at that. But Esau naturally got that hatred towards Jake. And that's because of the Bible. It's through the Lord separating Esau and Jacob. This being the Lord's program, man. So, only way Jake and them going to ever find out is if they come back to their history. Because you can read and understand this information all day, but the riots and all that stuff still going to come, and the pestilence and stuff still gonna come. It goes deeper than just these riots. Yahushua's still on his way back. They still going they still trying to bring in this new world order, and it's meant for Jacob not to take the mark of the beast if they make it through a lot of the stuff that comes. But the only way they'll know that is if they come back to the scriptures. But this is Job chapter 8, verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. Right, so you're supposed to be going back and getting an understanding of your history, who you come from, starting from the Bible. For you Judites, and for you Latins and Native Americans, the same thing. There's plenty of riots and stuff that didn't happen in other nationalities also. I ain't gonna put no information out there yet, but I think I did do a video on it in Florida. But if I forgot, so. But yep. Esau been terrorizing all the 12 tribes, so there's plenty of information out there on riots happening within all the nations. But we are the children of Israel. We go through the same thing. We being oppressed by the same devil. You know, that's why it's meant for us to come back together. You know, through the spirit and power. How about Shema Shai? So. This Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou should be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. Right? So since we don't know, since Jacob don't, the blacks, Native Americans don't know who they are according to the Bible, you know, the Lord not going to deliver them or save them. And, you know, them and their kids going to die by way of the new riots that's coming, you know. This Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29, it says, Thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Right, so in this event, the police weren't even intervening to help and save Jacob, you know, and ultimately, this stuff still going on, and the only person that can save us is Yahweh Shema Shai. But the point is we're going to be oppressed. You know, Jake and them getting oppressed, you know, because we still in captivity. So, you know, that's a curse that was put on us for us not doing according to what we're supposed to do according to law, statutes, and commandments, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But, you know, with that being said, call law, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers and sisters in the truth and sincerity. Shalom.